Rick Perry has to come out and camouflage himself like he's one of us. And, if he's forced by political weight, because he's checked the vote. Remember a month and a half ago when I had state senators on and people saying they hoped Rick Perry would get on board? Well, they're about to pass it in the Texas legislature, so then he shows up and says it's his. And now he'll control it. I know how he operates and try to make sure it doesn't really happen or that it's not enforced. But regardless, he's having to act like he's one of us, just like Glenn Beck and others are. And that shows we are taking the country back. Let's go ahead and show it. Here's the video.
And more importantly, millions of Texans just like yourself that are tired of Washington, D.C. trying to come down here and tell us how to run Texas. I happen to think this is a pretty bold step. HCR is, as introduced by Representative Creighton, co-authored by Representative Guillen, is a bipartisan piece of legislation. It concerns all Texans. It concerns all Americans. The 10th Amendment was enacted by folks who remembered what it was like to have a very oppressive government, to be under the thumb of tyrants and an all-powerful government. Unfortunately, the protection...
Hit pause. I mean, that is too incredible. And we know what it's like to be under the thumb of tyrants. Man, I've met Rick Perry. I know Rick Perry. He does not normally talk with that big of a Texas accent. I mean, this is deep. I would call that a far west Texas accent almost. Isn't he from South Texas? Point is, under the thumb of tyrants. Tyrants. Back it up. He can't even hardly understand. Tyrants. Under the oppressive thumb of tyrants. I like that, though. At least they're talking about the oppressive thumb of tyrants now. Because, again, we are becoming the mainstream. The government is tyrannical. Here it is.
10th Amendment was enacted by folks who remembered what it was like to have a very oppressive government, to be under the thumb of tyrants and an all-powerful government. Unfortunately, the protections it guarantees have melted away over the course of the years. You're probably familiar with that old adage about how to boil a frog. You know, you just get him to sit there in that pot and you turn up the heat a little bit by a little bit, and before you know it, the frog doesn't realize it, but he's done. And since the United States Constitution was ratified...
I just got to imitate this. How many times have I done the frog in the pot thing? I mean, it's like Alex Jones is now the governor. It's kind of like you got a frog in a pot, and little bit you turn the heat up, and pretty much, sooner than later, he's done. The tyrants. I just love it, though, because what's going to happen is they're trying to chameleon now and act like they're patriots because they're getting the feedback. They're learning. They know about the New World Order now. They know about everything. They know about everything we stole. They know I took money from Merck, knowing that vaccine killed people, so it would get vaccine damage federal funding. Because if I make it mandatory or say it's mandatory, then the federal funds kick in to give it liability protection. They're finding out about me. They're finding out. I won't fight the tyrants, too. I'm against them as well. Here, play it again. Tyrants.
Oh, you know, you just get him to sit there in that pot and you turn up the heat a little bit by a little bit, and before you know it, the frog doesn't realize it.
Before you know it, you got you some Cajun delight there. As long as you got you a good-looking, dark-haired, green-eyed Cajun queen, everything's all right, boy.
The federal government's been
we'll
slowly...
be right back, ladies and gentlemen. Stay with us. The info war continues as we launch forward at Mach speed.